Girl, can we talk? Anxiety? Ladies, gather around because we need to have the talk. No, not the why did I swipe right on that guy talk. I'm talking about something even more persistent and annoyingly clingy: anxiety. Yup, that little gremlin living in your brain that has you overanalyzing every text, every email. And yes, even that sideways glance from Susan in accounting. I know she's plotting something. Anxiety is like the world's worst roommate, always there, never paying rent, and constantly making a mess of your perfectly good plans. But here's the thing: we women are stronger than our anxiety. We have the power to throw that freeloader out and reclaim our peace of mind. How do I know? Because I've seen women from all walks of life do just that. Before we get to those stories of triumph, let's take a moment to appreciate the hilarious and absurd things anxiety makes us do. Imagine this: you're at a party, a cute party. You're wearing a cute dress, and you've just had a sip of that just right cocktail. Life is good. Then, a casual conversation with a stranger somehow morphs into your worst nightmare. You say something, innocuous, friendly even. And then, suddenly, your brain decides to hit you with the full power of a thought tornado. Oh my God, why did I say that? Did I sound dumb? Are they judging me? Did I use the word literally wrong? And then you spend the rest of the night replaying the conversation in your head like an episode of Law and Order, Social Interaction Edition. The verdict? You're guilty of being the most awkward human alive. But the truth? That person has already forgotten whatever you said, and they're over there worrying about their own verbal missteps. You know those days when you wake up, throw on some clothes, and then you're off to conquer the world? Yeah, me neither. Let's talk about mornings when anxiety takes the reins of your closet, like it's her personal runway. You try on one outfit. It's too tight. Another, it's too loose. After cycling through half your wardrobe, you've got a mountain of discarded clothes, and the clock is ticking. Anxiety says, hey, why not stress about this for another 15 minutes? Next thing you know, you're late for your 9 a.m. meeting, wearing the same thing you wore last week. Who cares? And low-key, wondering if anyone notices you have the same shoes in 2 different colors. Guess what? They don't. And honestly, that's probably not the life or death situation anxiety makes it out to be. But you see, anxiety loves a good, dramatic storyline. Lucky for us, we're the queens of comebacks. So now that we've shared a laugh or an exasperated sigh, let's dive into 3 stories from women who faced anxiety head-on. And 1. Maria grew up in a bustling household in Puerto Rico, where everyone had a say and no one was shy about giving opinions. The pressure to live up to family expectations weighed heavily on her. Anxiety would creep in every time she was about to make a decision, from the smallest, should I wear the red dress or the blue one, to the life-altering, do I really want to become an engineer? Maria's anxiety manifested in perfectionism. She had to be the best at everything, and when she wasn't, the self-doubt would eat her alive. Her internal dialogue was harsh, filled with, I should have done better, or what if they don't like me? It got so bad that she started to lose sleep, thinking about all the ways she could mess up at work or with her family. But here's where things took a turn. After years of pushing herself to the brink, Maria decided enough was enough. She went to therapy, where she learned to recognize the signs of her anxiety and address them before they spiraled out of control. She started meditating and even picked up yoga, focusing on deep breathing whenever her mind began to race. She stopped chasing perfection and began embracing progress. Now, Maria owns a small business designing eco-friendly clothing and lives by the motto, done is better than perfect. She still feels anxious from time to time, don't we all? But she no longer lets it dictate her life. She's learned to laugh at her inner critic and trust herself more. Amira, an Egyptian-American woman, always felt like she was living between two worlds. On one side, her family held tight to their traditional values, and on the other, she was navigating the fast-paced, demanding corporate world in New York City. The pressure to be successful while also being the perfect daughter, sister, and friend became too much. Her anxiety started to manifest as sleepless nights, constant migraines, and a fear of failure that had her second-guessing every decision. The breaking point came when Amira's boss at her high-profile marketing job asked her to lead a major campaign. It was the opportunity of a lifetime. But instead of excitement, all she felt was dread. The what-ifs began piling up. What if she failed? What if her parents thought she was neglecting her responsibilities at home? What if she wasn't good enough? But Amira didn't give up. She sought support from a group of friends and co-workers who became her lifeline. They reminded her that it was okay to set boundaries and that self-care didn't mean she was neglecting others. She started setting aside time for herself, whether it was going for a walk in Central Park or enjoying a cup of tea without feeling guilty. When she finally led the campaign, it was a success. Amira realized that anxiety had tricked her into believing she wasn't capable, but in reality, she had everything she needed. These days, Amira is a firm believer in therapy, journaling, and letting go of the need to have everything figured out. Lynn's journey with anxiety began when she moved from Vietnam to the US as a teenager. The culture shock, language barrier, and pressure to succeed academically were overwhelming. Anxiety quickly took root in her life, especially when it came to fitting in at school and meeting her parents' high expectations. Lynn developed a habit of people-pleasing, constantly worrying about whether she was doing enough to make her parents proud, impress her teachers, and be liked by her peers. This led to panic attacks, her body's way of telling her she was taking on too much. For years, she lived with the constant fear of disappointing others. Everything changed during her junior year of college. Lynn failed a big exam, something she had feared her entire academic life. But instead of falling apart, she had an epiphany. Failing didn't mean she was a failure. For the first time, she allowed herself to be human. She sought out a counselor who helped her challenge her self-worth being tied to her achievements. Lynn also started practicing mindfulness and embraced the idea that it was okay to say no sometimes. Today, Lynn is thriving as a software engineer and has started a blog where she shares her journey with mental health. Her message to other women: you're more than your grades, your job, or your to-do list. You're allowed to rest. We all have moments when our anxiety flares up, and that's okay. The important thing is to recognize it and know that you're not alone. Whether you're like Maria, Amira, or Lynn, each of us has the strength to overcome the moments when our minds feel like they're running a marathon with no finish line. Remember, anxiety loves to play tricks on us, making us think we're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. But the truth is, we are. It's time to flip the script, laugh at anxiety's ridiculousness, and take back our power. So, next time your mind starts to spiral because you think you've said the wrong thing at a party or chosen the wrong outfit for work, just breathe. Put on your metaphorical crown and remind yourself that you're stronger than your worries. Got a story of triumph over anxiety? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear all about it.